Like and subscribe. Please get look.
There he is. He's the one that pushed the button. He did this to you. He did this to you. Good evening, weirdos, and welcome to Total Recall, where the show that remembers it for you. I'm Jethro.
Snake Man kicks ass.
This is, what's that?
Snake Man kicks ass.
Snake Man kicks ass. Snake Man is scary. We have the wizard here from Austin, Texas right now. He's in town for Fantastic Fest. He's down the hall from me. He's just hanging out in another room, same house. Pretty great. Pretty great. Earlier we went to Cidercade, played some pinball. I got some dark cider to go.
I have candy.
Go ahead and see how that is. You got candy.
Candy corn. The best candy.
I had a new life experience. I had a surprise party. I went somewhere and unbeknownst to me, 30 of my friends were all there waiting to have a party. It was wild.
A Jethro bot party.
But yeah, we watched Gremlins, and I got to show off to everybody how many lines from that movie I can read along with the movie.
Barbara, I will take all of your candy corn. Just any candy corn you come across, you can ship to me. I'll take it off your hands.
It's what they call an intervention, Adam. Okay. Well, I know if he also lived in Austin that my brother would have been in town, and we perhaps would have talked about Dreamscape since this was his pick. One thing I will say about Dreamscape is, as Pumpkinhead mentioned, I bought a DVD of this, and she and I had already watched it not too terribly long ago. I still didn't really have that great of a memory of it, you know. What I remembered when I rewatched it several years ago was that it seemed like there was a lot of conversations with Max Von Sydow, and they weren't thrilling, you know. I really remembered those conversations at the bar. But my memory from way back when I was a kid, was that the special effects surrounding the snake dude were awesome.
Snake Man makes the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is what they call it, Black Lives. Thank you for joining us this evening. Happy to have you hanging out. This is, I'm also like, because we've kind of been hanging out and doing stuff all day, and you've been traveling, we didn't have our normal slide set up. I, at the very last minute, took photos of the DVD with my phone. So we got, we're boomering. We're boomering again. So
doing the best we can. It's Fest Week.
Let's get some puns in here.
Let's get some people in here.
Yeah. Well, what were your thoughts on Dreamscape before watching it? Had you seen it recently, or had you seen it at all?
It had been at least 10 years, if not longer.
Yeah.
But my thoughts were very fine. Like,
Yeah.
I knew going in it was not going to be the greatest thing ever.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun and it held up. Oh, spoiler. You know how I vote.
We knew how you're going to vote anyway.
Snake Man.
Snake Man. You're going to vote for Snake Man. All right. Well, speaking of Snake Man, let me bring to the stage. I don't have a segue for that. I'm just going to call him Snake Man. Here's my brother, Snake Man.
Hello.
Snake gravy.
Hello. Gravy snakes.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you for picking Dreamscape.
Oh yeah, it was great to watch it again.
Yeah. This was a cable movie.
Oh,
This was
for
on-
sure.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was on cable.
We
a
we
lot.
watched the crap out of this movie. We watched
Yeah.
this movie so many times. But
I
I hadn't.
can. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying. I hadn't seen it
Mhm.
since those days. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I hadn't seen Dreamscape since the 80s.
Mhm. And I feel like I can imagine us having a tape of this and fast forwarding to the
Snake Man.
the Snake Man stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe that's one of the reasons why the conversations in bars and labs and stuff, I didn't remember that so much because we would just fast forward over it when we were kids.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, I remember we watched this and I was like, oh, George Wentz in this movie?
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Oh, yes, he is.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yes,
think
he
we
did.
think we fast forwarded right through
Yeah.
poor Georgie.
Well, I think I might have a segue for Adam because he's on the West Coast and this movie was shot in Santa Monica. You know, so there is a connection there.
Don't try and
Here's-
tie me into this.
Here's Adam.
Until
Hi.
the sun comes up.
Hello. Yes, I used to live in lovely East Santa Monica. Now we are a bit further south.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Howdy.
Howdy.
How do?
I think
Oh,
Santa
Lord.
Monica is really nice, what I've seen of it. Really lovely.
It can be if you can afford it,
Mhm.
much like most of California.
Don't look for that bar they hang out in, though. It's been torn down.
Norm.
Oh,
Yeah. So I know you had to have seen Dreamscape.
I had not.
You had not seen it at all, huh?
I had
Wow.
never seen the full movie, not even close.
Wow.
Something about my 14, 15-year-old self said, don't go there.
Why? Do you know?
No, just a feeling. I don't know. I always
Is it
like
Snake Man?
well, I don't have as strong opinions about Snake Man as Barbara does, but I don't know. It was a very transitional point in my life. By the time it would have hit HBO, which would have been 85, I was already dabbling in more adult things like live concerts and substances and women, perhaps. I don't know. They may or may not have been women. But what I do know is that somehow I missed this hidden treasure along the way and never rented it, never saw it. So I'm here to bring you the objective opinion, folks.
Excellent. Excellent.
Ooh.
Perhaps the reason why you didn't see it because you had already seen Brain Scan or Coma or The Fury or
I
perhaps
may-
even Firestarter. And
I
you were
may-
like, no, not another. Not
Well,
at one point you decided to draw the line.
you're talking to a man who watched Runaway multiple times on HBO. So
oh yeah.
let's
Runaway
not
rocks, dude.
let's not be hasty.
Or
Watch
at
out for
least
that
I
mustache.
think it does. Does it? Ooh.
Oh,
Stick a pin in that.
I wish somebody would watch it. and
It's
do
the
a
one with
web
Gene
show
Simmons, right?
and let me know whether or not to watch it again.
Yeah,
Gene Simmons is a bad guy. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I watched it. I watched it probably 24 years ago.
that's very precise.
Yeah.
I had to think about it.
Yeah. I remember if I was going to watch one more movie before Y2K, it was going to be Runaway. All right. Well, Wizard is not the only panelist that's also in my house.
Whoa, weird.
Well, our house, which is
It's
In
a
the
very,
middle of our
very
city.
fine house.
yes, it is. It's Bride of Pumpkinhead.
Hey.
Woo!
Hey,
Bop!
Hey.
The Big Bopper.
yeah.
You got it.
3 out of the 4 bedrooms are live streaming in the house right now.
You have 4 bedrooms? Well,
Yeah,
me and Barbara will be over soon as
Yeah.
California's collapse is imminent.
I get it.
Only if you bring your worst puns.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean your best.
There are no bad puns.
That's right. Only bad people.
Yeah.
Puns don't kill people. People kill people.
People with puns kill people.
Death by pun.
And
Yeah.
they should be punished.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Good night, everyone. Remember B-sides
You
on
promise?
Friday.
Yeah, mic drop.
We are. Pumpkinhead, you watched this movie with me whenever that was, like 5 or 6
Yes.
years ago, maybe
Yes.
like during the pandemic or something. We were just trying to pick out a movie, and we picked out Dreamscape. That was your only time seeing it, right? You had no pre-knowledge of it at all.
That is correct.
And
Yes. Thank you, Black Lives, for the updated.
Oh,
That's
Black
that's
Widow.
just right.
Um,
It's starting to get smelly in here.
trying to get 2 directors. So, did you like it? Like when you saw it a few years ago? What did you have?
Yeah,
what was
I remember enjoying it pretty well. I didn't love it, but had a good time. Had a good time.
All right. Well, now we're going to bring out Barbara. We have one more panelist.
I know
Sorry
her.
that yes. She's now we have so what is it? It's 6 panelists in a total of 3 houses. 3 living scenarios.
1, 2.
Wow.
Yeah, that checks out.
I told Laszlo he's welcome to jump in and join us. If
We'd
he,
love to have him. Yeah,
gets done with his homework. He
watched
watched it with
the,
us.
He watched the whole thing with us.
Yeah.
What a brave young man he is.
Junior Gravy.
And he
Yep.
doesn't and he doesn't even know, who any of the people in this movie are, right? Like,
He better. Otherwise, I'm
seen
calling
me.
CPS.
he's never seen any Ingrid Bergman films, right? Maybe.
If your son doesn't know who David Patrick Kelly is, I'm coming over to meet you in the driveway.
Oh boy, just give me a minute.
I knew this would happen.
It's already. We chose violence this morning.
We did. And now, speaking of violence, let's get on with the movie. It starts out great. This is
Looking good.
looking good so far.
Did we hear what Barbara?
Oh no, Barbara! Sorry,
We did not get Barbara's
right over here.
introduction.
God damn it, we're so terrible.
Why would you do that to Barbara?
Can't you have to be nicer to Barbara?
You need to be nice to Barbara.
I got excited about that first slide.
Barbara did not.
Well, it's okay. He's coming back. He's coming to get you, Barbara.
Oh God.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, yeah. Let's just get into it. Let's just
Okay.
talk, shall we?
All right.
Because, oh my God.
There's a lot to talk about.
There is.
Yeah.
There
There
it
is.
is.
Yeah.
So this is how you know that your movie
Has failed.
that you're watching was shot, or takes place in New York between the 70s and the 90s.
Yes,
Somewhere-
there's a landmark there that
Somewhere in yeah. So,
we don't see so often these days.
And don't forget that when we did our group viewing of this, it was a week ago today, which was
yes.
September 11th.
That's
Oh,
correct.
wow.
Yeah.
we watched
it's
we
crazy.
watched this movie on 9/11, and this was the first image to greet us after the
Yikes.
credits.
Yeah.
That's not an omen at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way to pick it.
And-
Way to pick it. Yeah.
Oh. But you didn't do that on purpose. I mean, you had no idea that this is how.
No,
this thing-
no, I'd forgotten all about this image. I had no idea what the first shot of this movie was.
Confirmed. 9/11 was not Gravy's fault.
Yeah. He can't melt steel beams.
I don't know about that.
I can't. I wish I could, but
Okay, so who is this again? This is
This is the
somebody,
president's wife.
the president's wife.
The
running-
president is having a nightmare,
Hmm.
and this
and I like the stars in her
Yeah, I
Wearing
just
like a
noticed those too.
necklace of stars in there. She's running away, and
yeah.
From a nuclear bomb.
Mhm. There it is.
Oh,
Kaboom!
there it is.
Boom.
Oh my gosh, it must her hair.
And these are pretty. I mean, all this stuff is actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
Just the way that it looks, the way they pulled it off. The dream filters. Like when you're in
Yeah.
dream world, kind of whatever they're doing to make it look, sort of dreamy. I thought it had a unique look to it.
yeah, this looks like a video, like they did the almost
Yeah,
like
it
It
does.
video
does.
toasting with
It-
this one.
I feel like Adam disagrees.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
no,
getting-
no. I'm an
that
open-minded
sense.
sort of fellow.
Oh!
There's me now.
Hey, it could be
Yeah,
worse.
so-
You could find a horse head in your bed.
So that's
You've
yeah.
got to be nicer to Barbara. You've got to be nicer to Barbara.
That's
I actually
how,
kind of forgot that Eddie Albert was in this movie.
He's waking up from a dream when he
Yeah.
lived on a farm in Hootersville.
Mm. Fresh air, Times Square, the whole deal. Good casting here.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
seems like a president.
He's,
Yeah.
he's very
Yeah.
presidential.
Yes.
Yeah, I can move everyone over here so we can see. There's the picture of his wife. So you find out right away. Who the
There
lady
she is.
Yeah.
That's good graphic language right there.
Mhm.
We're telling stories.
Yeah. Oh, there is some pretty fancy storytelling.
And look at
there.
that lamp. My God.
It's like he won an award, and the award was lamp. That's like award for best lamp, which is a lamp. It's
And if you
trophy.
think he hasn't rubbed that lamp in the middle
Yeah.
of the night, think again.
That's usually how he calms down after one of his nuke dreams.
He
So-
always wanted a trophy lamp.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Mhm. He got it just for participating, actually. But
Hmm.
he of course the movie's about dreams, so the president is having nightmares. Okay, that's what we're learning. The president is having nuclear meltdown nightmares, and he
guilt.
even has
So much guilt.
and guilt. And he has this guy come in who's like, boy,
Christian Bale is here.
are you even sure you're okay, sir?
Well, I will say this. First of all, that's a stunning Lincoln portrait.
Mhm.
Second of all, this script does not waste time,
No.
but there are some caveats with that. This script is very tight.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, here we go. So, and now we're going to introduce
Jane Goodwin with hair.
I think that's his real hair.
Think again. He borrowed my
Um,
hair.
I heard that Max Von Sydow, who at this point, when he's making American films, he's not really a big name so much in America. So it seemed like when he was making American films, he really was kind of having fun. So, it's sort of like when Robert De Niro does, Rocky and Bullwinkle, whatever.
Yeah, it's a mulligan. He's having an easy month.
Yeah, it's just he's coming to America and he's just kind of resting on his laurels and he's picking fun characters
And getting paid.
Yeah,
You gotta get paid.
Absolutely.
But if you don't know,
he was much better in Flash Gordon. That's
True.
yes, he was having a wonderful time in Flash Gordon, and you always have a wonderful time watching. But he was actually, the twinkle in Ingrid Bergman's eye for quite some time. Like he's Yeah,
I would say.
Truly fantastic guy. And behind him is David Patrick Kelly.
I love
yeah.
David Patrick Kelly. I love
Yeah.
him. I
That's
ran
not
into
David
him.
Patrick Kelly. That's Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, that's Dennis Quaid, dude.
That's Dennis Quaid.
Oh, that's
behind
right.
him?
It is.
Dennis
It
Quaid
is.
behind
Yeah.
him at the moment.
We misspoke.
Okay. Well,
It's
my
a young
mistake.
Dennis Quaid.
It's a blurry picture. I thought he was talking about David Patrick Kelly.
No, it opens with they're trying to find Dennis Quaid's character
That's
because
right,
he was
yes.
the most
Yeah.
promising student of Max Von Sydow's.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's
Yes, and he's
right.
missing.
He's
Yes.
missing. We don't know where he is,
Right.
except that we do.
Oh God!
And yes, she's talking. She's in the meeting. She's
And
hanging
she
out with
is Kate Capshaw.
Yeah, but she's actually pretty. She's a lot more toned down than she is in other.
She's okay in this movie.
Yeah.
She's
He's
okay in this.
very toned down in this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And I think this might be the only noteworthy thing she did after Temple of Doom because we don't see her again after this.
Well, she married Steven Spielberg. So
Yeah.
no.
She didn't really have to work.
Yeah.
Didn't really have to work.
So we establish all that, and then we establish at the horse race track, and I guess really what they're suggesting is he kind of is a bit of a psychic. He's able to use like psychic powers,
Or incredibly lucky. One of the
Yeah.
other.
Or he can communicate with the horse on some level. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wilbur.
He can encourage him with his mind. He doesn't get nosebleeds though, so like he's lucky in that regard. Because believe me, it happens a lot in movies when you're psychic.
It's funny that you mentioned it
Yeah.
because I actually did notice a lack of consequence for using his powers in this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't even
And-
seem to take a whole lot of effort, really. Like,
No, he's consequence free.
Well, he's not exactly consequence free because he's running from thugs right now. That guy
Well,
in the brown derby behind him, that's a thug, and then these guys, they look like they could have walked off of pretty much any 80s, needs
But
a
that's
bad
just
guy.
because he's not careful.
Yeah, that he's just not being careful enough, and they want a cut of his
That has
winnings.
nothing to do with ESP.
yeah,
That's
he's
just
got a
bad
bag full of money.
Yeah. Well, they want to know what his secret is, Yeah.
He's always getting the winners.
Mhm. Well, good evening, Foreigner and Foreigner Belt.
That's
Welcome.
Oh,
fantastic.
Yeah.
choice.
Wow.
That's a sweet belt.
Domo arigato.
I have his first two albums on vinyl.
Okay, so yes, he is running away from people who want to exploit him, or he owes them money or something. I
They
don't know.
just want to
No,
steal
they
his
want to
wallet.
exploit him.
Yeah, they want to exploit.
Yeah.
But he gets away and he plays saxophone.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What is it, like all the protagonists of the 80s are like jazz musicians on the side.
Exactly.
This was his
Really
choice.
terrible trope. Yeah.
Yeah, they had him playing something else. They had him playing something other than the saxophone, and Dennis Quaid said, "Nope, I want to play the saxophone."
Because that's what's cool in
That's
1984.
cool.
Yeah. He's like that greasy
That's-
guy that
that's
played for
always
Tina
cool.
Turner.
Saxophone.
Mhm.
Mm,
I blame
Yeah.
Careless Whisper.
Yeah, it's sort of staged conveniently in his only reclining chair in his living room, and you start the shot and it just pans over to the saxophone. Oh, he's gonna play it, folks.
He's gonna play that saxophone.
He's gonna play that.
He
But
sure as hell isn't
Chekhov's
gonna sit down
saxophone.
and read a book. You know he's
Yeah.
gonna play the saxophone.
It's
No.
Chekhov's saxophone, absolutely.
Chekhov's saxophone. Yeah,
He's playing smooth jazz while he listens to his upset, recent lady,
Yes,
messages for him.
listening to his answering machine messages, and she is schizophrenic.
Yeah,
One is "I hate you," the other is "call me."
yeah,
It's a little weird.
yeah. So that's what life is like in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets kidnapped, and they bring him to the institution where
Government thugs, people. It's government
thugs.
You need to
Government
know that.
thugs come pick him up. They weren't government thugs because the other thugs at the racetrack, well, that guy wore a leather vest, but these guys just wear like blazers
And a
with
cabbie
maybe
hat. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the cabbie hat. He doesn't work for the government.
No.
Garden
So-
variety thugs versus
Central casting
government.
thugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dennis knows they're behind there, obviously, as any cut rate idiot would when they're set in a room with a mirror. But he's like, let's go.
Plus, he's a psychic.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
He could probably
yes.
read them.
Pumpkinhead, thank you for bringing up. There is a Twin Peaks connection, not just with David Patrick Kelly.
Two Twin Peaks connections. A twin Peaks connections.
Whoa.
Yeah. We
A
love
duo,
those.
if I may.
Or twins.
Now,
I
anybody
just
out
made
there-
that joke.
If you will.
There's no way.
If you're a
Quaid.
sci-fi or fantasy fan, you might like to know that the original treatment for this was written by Roger Zelazny,
Okay.
although he's completely uncredited. But he wrote it not based on, but based on some ideas from one of his novels, The Master of Dreams.
I'm not a mean person. I love people, but I feel like reading Kate Capshaw's mind is more of a short story. I don't.
Ouch.
It's kind of like a brochure.
Yeah, it's like
It's a pamphlet. And
a pamphlet.
Yeah, a pamphlet. Pamphlet-scape.
Sorry, Kate. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Yeah, we
Since
better,
they-
we
since-
better
since-
progress. We got a
Yeah.
lot to go over.
So he's not into this. He doesn't want to
No.
do this.
No.
Yeah, they kidnap him. Obviously, that's not a great way of getting someone's cooperation.
Yeah, have you met Smilex?
Yeah. Technically, yes, I have.
But they do show them that what they're trying to do is allow people with to infiltrate the dreams of other people.
Yeah, to
Yes.
help people with bad dreams.
Sure, we're helping. We're helping people.
Right.
here.
That's right.
That's the whole intent. See, the movie is Dreamscape. Everyone's got to have dreams on the mind. They have to. Got to. So.
And Max Von Sydow, as usual,
Yeah.
is here to help.
And
That's right.
government thugs are kidnapping you because they want you to help people.
They want you to help
That's right.
people with dreams. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing
Same old
nefarious
story.
going on here.
Yeah,
And-
same old story.
And if you watched movies in the 80s, you know that anytime you were getting anything remotely like a proposition from Max von Sydow, you better just run. Just turn around, run, stop talking to him. See this conversation? Don't have this conversation. Okay? He's trying to talk you into something. Don't do it.
He
Whatever
seems
you
trustworthy
whatever
to
you
me.
say.
There's going to be evil.
Yeah.
We got computers. We got reel-to-reel tape machines. Science is happening, man.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't know if Max von Sydow's relationship is quite like Ike Turner.
Oh man.
Ooh, getting right into it, aren't we?
Yeah, but I'm glad. I'm glad I'm not winning the Dark Award this episode for once. So thank you,
once.
Black Lion, for once. Here's the bar that doesn't exist anymore, but doesn't it look great? This is a location shot,
Yeah,
Don't you want to kind of?
Yeah.
Don't you want to
Totally
have a
a
drink
beer
there?
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to point out.
Bar.
I want to point out that there is a lingering ass shot on this waitress, and that both of the men take a kind of lean.
This
Oh,
There
yes,
it
they
is.
do. Yeah.
There it is. I applaud this behavior.
I
Ugh.
well, I found it to be tasteless, Frank.
Look at those booths, though. They're hand painted. That's
Yeah,
nice
those are
pinstriping.
awesome.
Yeah,
love
it
it.
looks great.
What a great pub.
Mm-hmm.
And they've already had a full pitcher of beer together, and they're having their second. So,
And that I thought about that. I was like, wait a minute, he's just drank a whole pitcher with Max, and he hasn't even brought up what they're doing. Like he's just like, now that you're kind of drunk, let me talk to you about our project. You see, we're trying to help kids with dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Kids
And
whose
they're drunk.
dreams, kids whose dreams are so bad they can't walk. Gotta help them. That brought the house down. But first, they're gonna mix him out.
Yeah.
First, they're gonna record an album.
I brought you here to cut a track.
No, we're gonna
Yeah.
bring the backup singers in later. It's okay. It's all edited in post. It's fine.
And this is just establishing that this kid has really bad dreams.
Yeah.
Um,
This
they-
guy's a psychic that they
No, this-
tried to use the machine to link him into his dream,
Mhm.
and this guy has not survived the experience.
No, the kid's dream broke him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and here we have Max. Max really wants to know an answer because he just accidentally killed someone with dreams or whatever. It just screwed him up really bad. So he just has to burst into his room, and we all get to see young Dennis Quaid in his underpants.
Which I
His
appreciate.
tiny,
Not upset.
tiny
Listen.
underpants.
It's just
I'm-
so important, and it's
He's
just
gonna go
really
play-
important.
Hello.
I need to go play my saxophone for a few minutes. Leave me alone.
It's so important that I just had to come right in here and bother those bugs.
Look, it's an equal opportunity
That's
movie.
right.
All
There's a
gays
shot
are
there.
created too.
That's
All
right.
gays
Shot there where
matter.
Max is doing that lean again.
That's right.
Yeah. And so
Yeah, you
then
even get
later on, when it's shower time for for our hero, guess who barges in?
Never play another man's saxophone.
No. Don't sneak into his room while he's showering to do it either,
Hey, warriors, come out to play the saxophone.
And we don't have sound on it, but they did use David Patrick Kelly's actual saxophone playing.
Never had one lesson.
Never had one lesson. So you can't hear it, but he's just screeching. It sounds terrible. He's, you would imagine that if that was your saxophone, it would be kind of upsetting. It's very disrespectful. He's here to let him know that he is top dream dog and he doesn't want any competition. Just let that sink in for a second. He puts on a dickie and says, me and my dickie are going to go down the hall and we're going to muscle the new kid.
We're gonna play his saxophone.
This will mess with them.
Oh God.
See, the thing is, if you grab him by the collar, he can squirrel right out of it. It's good. The Dickies are great for fights. Yeah.
Oh.
Pro tip.
Let's.
Whoa.
I know. We have more Quaid. You know.
Hello.
We have some quality Quaid. Can you blame him for breaking in? Oh.
Now
Just
imagine if they had shot this with Randy Quaid.
Oh, no.
Oh, why would you do that?
Why?
Why would you do that? Oh my God.
Some people just want to burn the
Fantasy
world down.
destroyed. Yeah, fantasy destroyed.
I think I just threw up a little bit in my mouth.
My job here is done.
Well, so be it. Now he's going to do the dream thing. And anytime someone goes into the dream situation, you get some of this great kind of special effects, camera effects, where you're just going through this like tunnels of light. And they hired a independent New York filmmaker to do those. So there's several in the movie.
Sweet.
Yeah. And they're all pretty cool. And so you can't tell because they're stills, but those clouds are moving unnaturally fast. But again, you get this kind of like weird dream feeling. I don't know if they put a filter on it or, there's just something that they're doing that causes it to be a little off or something. So. But it looks neat. The dream world looks pretty neat, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you definitely know you're in the dream world. There's no mistaking it. And they put him in here to help this guy who's having apparently having chronic nightmares.
I think the rolling clouds is a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
A little surrealism.
I like them. Yeah, I like the rolling clouds, and I like it's Dreamscape, so everyone's obsessed with their dreams. Like this guy's dream is ruining his career as a construction guy or something. Isn't it always like who else finds it unsettling when they do this stuff in movies? It's like easy, right, to unsettle you.
Well, me, yeah, sure. My issue with this little scene was I'm not sure how he thinks he's helping by jumping on a girder suspended over a skyscraper with a man hanging. I don't.
Well, he's just learning, so he's fucking up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Good.
He doesn't know what else to do. Yeah. Clearly, the crane operator is no help at all.
Yeah.
See, that's why David Patrick Kelly's going to kick his ass because he knows what he's doing in Dream World.
That's right.
Dennis Quaid's just stumbling around.
Mm-hmm. He only has one collar. And like an idiot, he's just like, what'll save you is if I grab your, shirt arm right at the seam.
Walmart quality, folks.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's a lot of blame to go around. And then he falls and he's falling and it's a nice blue screen. It doesn't look half bad. And then since he's getting used to dreams and they're kind of tugging on his heartstrings, they're like, and here's Billy, the guy who's the kid whose dreams kill people.
Well, I remember when Dennis Quaid came and visited me at the Dream Center, and I was tough.
Yeah. Could you walk before then, or did he solve your walking?
No, my vitamin D deficiency won out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Wait. Are you saying you were touched by Dennis Quaid?
Not on the record. No.
Okay.
They really make that kid look like he's not getting a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
That kid stayed up for a week to shoot this scene.
I tried to sleep, but they wouldn't let me.
No, they pumped him full of crystal meth.
They put him in a room with Max Von Sydow.
That's how it was in the 80s.
Yeah, they're
That's
like,
how
hey
you got
kid,
there.
this is Drew Barrymore. You're gonna hang out with her for a week. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dangerous stock footage.
Yeah. There's some stock footage that they put tint on, and then these are miniatures that they actually made for the movie.
Yeah.
There's a creepy door, and when you open it, there's creepy kids.
Yeah, post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, they were
creepy
horrifying.
Post-apocalyptic children, and you only get to see them for a couple seconds. It's
That's
a real
enough.
life. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they
a
look
jump
great.
scare. Yeah,
They look great.
but pausing it, that makeup is really unsettling.
Yeah, this kid all
Yeah.
the way on the right, like
Mhm.
what?
Yeah.
Very scary.
I thought the miniatures were good, and there are some of the dream sets that are quite good, but
Mm-hmm.
I think there could have been a little more money put into the sets, but
Yeah. Well,
it's a mix. It's a mix.
this movie is cheap. This movie is $6 million. Like, I mean, I know that's not hay, but all things considered, $6 million.
$6 million doesn't buy me a pair of shoes.
$6 million went a long way in
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah,
in my
they
opinion.
put $6 million to solid use in this picture. I think it's an efficient film. It's pretty tight. Like it's not sloppy. I mean, there's a little bit of slop in it, but it's not sloppy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And all in all, it's very coherent. It's efficient. It's shrewd, if you will. We'll get there, but honestly, there's only one like major scene in this film that, let's just face it totally could have been on the cutting room floor, and it's at the racetrack down the road.
Yeah. When the whole thing is pretty silly, the racetrack stuff when he comes back to the racetrack. But anyway,
oh boy, here we go.
President has had another nightmare, and Eddie Albert says, "You know who I should talk to? My old friend Christopher Plummer. There's no chance that he is a monster hiding behind that smile. No way.
Not Christopher Plummer.
Not Christopher Plummer. He and I go way back.
The man doesn't blink once. Not one time.
Yeah. His steely gaze. I've got several Plummer slides in here.
Oh,
So
God.
you haven't seen the last of Plummer, but meanwhile,
This is not one.
no, they're giving Quaid more complicated dreams to invade. So, like,
You may not know this, but this is me on the right, actually.
Yeah, you can imagine
Thought he looked familiar.
how dreams are affecting their relationship, right? Do you have a guess yet? Well, let's go into their dream. Woo!
I don't need to guess.
Yeah, more of that cool stuff. I should have written that guy's name down. And he's like, "Here we are in sepia tone, and there's my wife. Wah! And there's other guys under the bed.
Yeah.
And then there's the priest and my Asian gardener."
And the audio was really graphic when they were in a car, they drive up to the house, they get in the house, and she's moaning
Hear
like
it,
crazy.
groaning,
Yeah, which brings up a bit of an issue that I have with this movie is that things are sort of telegraphed at full volume in this film. You know exactly where everything is going while you're watching a scene.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Fukuda's facial expression there.
Even
And
knew Fukuda.
I was gonna say, I'm not being racist. Like, that is the character's name.
Yeah.
He says, even you, Fukuda.
You, Fukuda?
And then Fukuda just kind of coyly is like, "Well, gosh, sir, I guess this means I'm not your gardener anymore."
Whoops.
Oh, Fukuda. But when we were watching it, we were like, how does this help him?
Yeah.
Oh, well, as it turns out, you're dreaming about your wife cheating on you. So you shouldn't have any more sexual dysfunction. Good luck. Like, that doesn't help.
No, there was no resolve or resolution there at all.
we push our way right into another dream. They really want to get him to help out poor old Billy
Well, no, actually,
or whatever his name
yeah.
is.
Dennis
Buddy.
Quaid insists on
Yeah.
going into Buddy's dreams.
No,
because
they don't want to let him go in.
No, they don't want to.
Yeah.
There was a death.
It's true. Billy kills.
Buddy.
Buddy.
A2 Fukuda.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's a psychic killer, man. It's poison.
I show him right next to the window here. He's about the guy who did the makeup effects for the Snake Man costume and stuff. It's actually his hand that pushes through the window and grabs the kid. And I know that because he grabbed him too tight. He's not an actor. He's not a stunt man.
Snake Man.
So that's some real fear right there. He's just grabbing
the
shit out of that kid. Good take, and we used the take. Okay, so they're running through dreams, and the kids, his like dream world is kind of spooky at first. It's like in his growing up.
Well, there's a really funny line here, which is, "That's my father. He won't help."
Right.
Yeah.
And then he goes, he's right, I won't.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, no, he's right.
Just move on along. Thank you. And then when they leave the room and they look back, there is this shadow is animation. This is cell animation.
Oh, really?
Of the Snake Man eating the dude. So they do some fun little animated stuff here and there. They do some stop motion.
I love what they do with the set here. They do some really clever, simple things with angles, and dimension and shadow to turn this into like a nice little nightmarish environment.
Yeah, we're going German expressionism here, which is great.
Totally.
Always a fan.
I mean, have you ever seen scarier wainscoting than that?
Only when I worked at Ben and Jerry's.
Well, now that you mention it, I have seen some pretty, frankly, terrifying wainscoting. No, I
live in New England, dude.
Yeah, the effects guy.
Yeah, they're scary wainscoting everywhere.
They only make scary wainscoting.
Yeah, I was watching it with the commentary on the DVD with the effects guy. He mentioned that specifically is cell animation, which I thought was pretty cool.
The lack of color differentiation really hurts my feelings.
Yeah, I get it. Doom, and then there's this beautiful bridge.
Another great
staircase.
Another great miniature
Oh my
and set piece. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is some movement there in the center. The two figures coming down the steps. So it all looks pretty cool. Snake Man, hard to get a good picture of Snake Man because he moves around the whole time.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence.
Yeah, they're doing that on purpose. They don't want you to get too good a look at Snake Man. But this is where like being in the kid's dream kind of makes sense. He's wrestling with the Snake Man, and he encourages the kid to murder the Snake Man himself with the axe.
Important to point out that Dennis Quaid gets grabbed by Snake Man and injured by Snake Man.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
This is a Chekhov's snake bite here.
Yeah, they want to establish that what happens in the dream world could have real ramifications.
Matrix rules.
Yes. Well, actually, Elm Street rules, and this
Yep.
is
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Yeah.
this is a synergy movie with Elm Street, which came out the same year, just a few months later, and they're lucky. They are so lucky that Dreamscape did not take off. And obviously they look very different and they were marketed differently. In fact, there was originally more nudity in Dreamscape, but they wanted to get the brand new PG-13. So this is like,
oh, is this PG-13?
yeah, this is like the second movie ever to get PG-13
Oh,
or
okay.
something
Wow.
like that. Yeah,
I thought it was PG. Okay.
Because there's not
Yeah.
even like really any foul language or anything in here or anything.
No,
There's
no,
no
there's
F-bombs.
Zero language.
There's
Yeah.
no nudity, even though the sex scene is pretty randy. And there's, you're right, there's really no cussing. All the smack talking is, very kind of officious. Christopher Plummer doesn't need to drop F-bombs.
He does it with his eyes, his unblinking eyes.
Shut the fuck up, Mr. President.
For real.
So he chomps him with the axe. There's blood. There's Snake Man gore. Snake Man screams. He hits him again. He chops his head off. It falls down a psychedelic well. And something
Love
tells
that.
me, something
I
tells
love
me
that shot.
little buddies' dream problems are going to be over.
Yeah.
And I got to say, this drawing, this little sketch, like always really stuck with me. I really feel like Snake Man is the image icon, the iconography, whatever you want to say.
Epitome.
Yeah, it's the icon of the movie. Like it's an
Mhm.
iconic image from
Yeah.
this film, at least for me. And I remember I always liked the sketch. I thought Snake Man was terrifying. Snake Man scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. And yeah, I think it's genuinely creepy. Love the sketch. Those things always stuck with me. I really do think that is a huge high point of the movie. Love the Snake Man scene in Buddy's nightmare.
And if you can draw that and send it in, you might get enrolled into an art school.
I can draw that. I can
Yeah.
draw that.
Do you like to draw, paint, or even doodle?
Draw Snake Man.
He's doodling. Well, this is our. Oh, by the way, the bad guy's name is Tommy Ray, and I love that they gave him a psycho killer name.
Well, I love that they gave him a 3-word name, just like
Yes.
David Patrick Kelly. So
Yeah,
you don't get confused.
But especially Ray being a middle name
Yes.
is a giveaway.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about having a kid, I tell you what, don't give him Ray as a middle name. Not a good idea.
Or Lee. Lee is
Or
not.
Lee. Lee's not good
Yeah.
either.
Especially if you have two first names and then you give him another first name, like having 3 first names.
Yep.
So anyway, this is evil
I had a
Tommy Ray.
roommate that had 3 last names.
What was that?
His first name was Hayes,
Wow.
and his middle name was Ivy, and his last name was Saxon.
Oh,
Wow.
a moment of silence.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. That kid was doomed.
We digress.
Yeah.
I
Well-
feel like this is on topic.
Yeah. Now
It
Tommy
is-
Ray
it is,
knows it.
actually.
Tommy Ray knows that he's afraid of Snake Man. He's afraid of Snake Man. And
And
Probably-
Norm.
probably the most ludicrous part of this whole movie is the presentation of George Wendt as Stephen King.
Yes.
Just approaching him and saying, "Hey, I know what they're doing
Yeah.
in the Dream, Institute that you're working in, and
And I
I'm
know
writing
all about wainscoting. So
yeah. I know what they're doing. Yeah, I know what they're doing with their interior decor. I know how heinous it is." Which is just, I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of ridiculous. Like, what are they doing, Norm? I'll tell you what they're doing. They're watching some guy's nightmare about his wife's infidelity. They're,
Well-
pulling some guy off a skyscraper beam. Like, what?
but he doesn't know.
But he knows that they're eventually going to use this for evil.
Yes,
Yeah,
he knows the motive.
Well,
No.
Yeah.
we haven't like clarified to any viewers. I think that Christopher Plummer is the G-man that's actually funding and in charge of running this whole Dreamscape operation.
Yes, correct. He's in charge.
Yeah.
So this is where the movie starts to fall apart a little bit for me.
Yeah.
The previous scene with David Patrick Kelly where he's, I don't know, fucking obvious. And then Norm's character here is like sort of talking about things in public that he's nervous about talking about things in public, but he's talking about them in public. And it gets a little heavy-handed here.
I think I'd read this book, though.
No, I want to talk to the person who wrote this copy because it says an ancient knife, an ancient curse, a modern reign of terror. Say ancient again.
Horror so real you can cut it with a knife.
Say
Stab.
I love the ancient knife angle.
You leave the art department alone.
Actually, they had the writer write that. That's the guy who wrote the script also wrote that copy. Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah.
But
it should
but
have
no
been
surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did want to make sure everybody knows that the Village Pub was also equal opportunity with its tight T-shirts. So
yeah, as it should be.
Yeah,
Appreciated.
As it should be.
And now here's like the most fucked up part of the movie.
We have to talk about this.
I'm so mad at this movie.
Oh my god!
I was having such a great time.
This was all with the Snake Man and good times. And
everything was just
Incredible
like cool
Way.
and fun, and Dennis Quaid's so adorable. And then it's like, well,
he gets a couple of beers in him, and guess what happens?
Guess what happens?
Maybe I could just enter her dream and make out with her there.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
What's consent? I don't know.
Well, this is the 80s.
Yet.
Yeah.
Sounds like a word from the 21st century. Anyways.
So if you can't tell from the panelists' reaction to this picture, Dennis Quaid has walked in on her sleeping, and he's like, let me do my thing where I dream and enter her dream.
Uninvited.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're on a train, and I look like dressed like Fabio. And
Yeah.
Okay. It's the one thing I really like about this scene is that it's on a train.
And it's that guy.
And it's that guy.
Remember this face.
It's just so creepy and icky. Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also very sensual. Like, he pulls up her dress before, like that's his opening move. He's pulling up her dress and spreading her legs. This is
really
gross.
This really is like it's a fantasy novel. It's just like these things don't really happen. And he also kisses like he's starved for oxygen. He unhinges his jaw.
Air out of your lungs.
Yeah. Like an anaconda, he just dislocates his jaw and goes after her
some
face.
ideas from Snake Man.
He's trying to stab her brain with his tongue. Yeah.
Oh, at the very least, taste what she had for breakfast. My God, it's so gross.
It's a bit much. I don't know how much we need to dwell on this. Really, it's just.
But she's mad. She calls him on it.
Here's the subsequent argument. Like that is exactly what should happen. In fact, you should stab.
Well, and that I think we need to note that scene goes on for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
An uncomfortably long time.
I was uncomfortable.
If you saw this movie in Europe, it's even longer, and there's nudity. They shot this.
What?
Yeah, they shot that with rated R material, and they trimmed it back for PG-13 here in the U.S. But there's nudity in that scene. Yeah, and And Kate Cashaw didn't want to do nudity. She was like, I prefer not to. Like, it's, I also think it's a bit much. And yeah.
Well, looking at your contract here, you didn't say no nudity.
Yeah.
So
it's got to be awful for actors to do that crap. I'm sure all of them hate it. I'm sure it's just
most of them. I would say most of them. I think there are plenty of willing people in Hollywood to do it. But
Dennis Quaid is probably not.
We should not assume that anyone wants to do that.
No.
Yeah. And I think it's important to remember that a lot of times people do it when they really don't want to. It's not necessary. They don't want to, but it still happens,
Oh yeah.
And then they didn't even fucking use it because they're like, no, we want more money for PG-13.
I bet Smilex is using it.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay. Enough of that.
Yeah,
Smilex, next time you send us a DVD.
There is one important note. Okay, they have the argument from him uninvitedly invading her dream. So he comes in uninvited, but then they have an argument about it. I mean, she calls him out on his bullshit.
Yeah,
but then he does point out, "But I did it without the machine."
Yes.
So there you go.
And she's magically like, oh, well, I've forgotten about this.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. All of a sudden it becomes redeemable and it's still gross.
And she definitely will not fall in love with him later on.
Right.
Yeah. It's
our work is so important. We just don't have time to argue about you, raping me.
Yeah, it's a very sort of Western cowboy 60s movie sort of sexuality, and it's not comfortable these days.
Nope. Nope. So that is one Total Recall moment right there. Is you're wondering how it plays out in modern day.
Yeah.
Not perfectly.
No.
This picture is just here to establish that these guys are really having a falling out.
Yeah, we're butting heads here.
Yeah, Christopher Plummer is just so dang evil. And really, all Max Von Sydow wants to do is, help out kids.
Much like a snake man, he never blinks.
Yeah, and guys who can't get boners, and
hey,
that's been his life's work, and he's not
getting boners.
Yeah. And the storyline of this, Christopher Plummer's motivation is that he doesn't want the president to engage in de-weaponization or
Yes, that's
de-escalation.
There's no disarmament.
Yeah, that's the plot point. Yeah. The president is going to Switzerland or somewhere to
Geneva
to scale down the nuclear threats. And he's going to disarm the country. So
and
Christopher Plummer, boner fan aficionado, wants weapons. He wants nuclear war. So.
But this film was made in 1984, and I think it was in 86 or 87 that actual nuclear de-armament took place.
Yeah, I think 88 was the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
Ish.
So, there's good and there's bad, Reagan.
So, Max Von Sydow just cares about the work. He's got this sort of naive sense of he could be funded by the government and carry out this for good, but we find out that no, that's not what's happening.
Really trying his best.
Yeah. He tries.
Mm-hmm. So then this is David Patrick Kelly, Tommy Ray, evil Tommy Ray is trying to help this old lady with her dreams, and unfortunately she dies. And then Dennis Quaid is looking on, and he's like, wait a minute, I think this crazy bad guy with dream mojo or whatever is gonna.
There's some decent editing here between the reaction shots. At first, Dennis Quaid, of course, his eyes are fixed on the woman who's going into cardiac arrest. And it goes back and forth a few times. And then he turns his eyes onto David Ray Kelly, and realizes that this guy's not upset at all. He's kind of smiling.
Yeah. He's
wow, that's a banner.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call him Dream Truck Nuts from now on because I'm not sure how to describe Tommy Ray's dream power pride. When he comes in and he's just all puffed up and he's like, "You're not going to be the main guy around here because I'm already the main guy around here."
I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
That's right.
I love being Snake Man.
I got Dream Truck. I'm Snake Man. My Dream Truck Nuts.
Do we know it's Snake Man yet?
No.
Oh, spoiler. Come on.
All right. Boom. And then
man, I always thought that sandwich looked really disgusting. Like
it's menacing the way he eats it.
He makes it look disgusting.
Yeah, he's like attacking it, and of course he's drinking soda through a straw. It just all has this like real viciousness the way he's just turning a tuna salad into something vastly more intimate and evil.
Yeah.
It looked like that disgusting deviled ham meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he exudes menace. Yeah. And malice.
Yeah.
He's got great eyes. He's a great actor. He really is. He doesn't have a lot to work with in this script, but he's doing it.
He does the hell out of it.
Mm-hmm. And so they have a little face-off. And, guess who's learning? Dennis Quaid wore a sweater to the Threaten Fest.
A V-neck sweater.
A V-neck. He was like, "I'll show you, Dickie. I'll show you who looks tough.
I will see your Dickie, and I will raise you a V-neck."
I could go on about men in V-neck sweaters, but we should
touch it. Touch it. It's cashmere, bitch.
Yeah,
cashmere. Polyester sucked my
Dickie.
Suck my Dickie.
Suck me. Okay, and then we also have to establish that these guys get along.
Wait. Now we have to talk about the decor in this room.
I don't like the insinuation that
I don't either.
If you like Bruce Lee, you might be a psychopath.
Is this leftover yellow scare stuff? And what is going on here? Like, he likes Bruce Lee. He must be evil.
He really likes Bruce Lee.
It's weird. It's very weird.
He goes on to say, I've seen, Enter the Dragon six times.
Six whole times.
Yeah, I've seen six whole times. Wow.
Six times.
Six times I've watched it. 6 times.
Six times you watched it and you still didn't get the meaning behind it?
I'm pretty sure I watched it 6 times in a day.
Yeah.
And who are you rooting for in that movie? Then?
Yeah.
Give me once, twice.
And so Dennis
6
Quaid
times a Snake Man. More telegraphing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
There's an unlocked office with files on everyone in the Institute here. The movie has completely fallen apart to me right now.
Quaid is like, let me just look up his file. Oh, okay. He's been in the news.
Yeah.
He's been in the 70s.
Yeah.
He was in the Warriors, but I don't see that clipping.
And there's and they have a picture of his dad who he killed. So yeah, perfect guy to have enter old lady's dreams.
Yeah.
Seems
this wasn't a great that wasn't a great call. Like, yeah.
And then the movie gets really fucking weird. Like it pulls out George Wendt's Stephen King character again. And like we have no idea like if he has like learned anything new. Like what exactly is going on here that he's like warning him like, you gotta get out of here.
Well, okay. We've got big problems in Plot Town here.
Yeah.
The idea that George Wendt would just run up to him in public on this campus or whatever and start trying to, feed him more suspicions or whatever, and that he wouldn't be followed. I just, oh man, I just kind of lost it here.
And all of the sudden, a pep rally bursts out of a high school they're standing in front of.
Well, that's how you know it's safe.
And makes the whole scene chaotic. It's just the weirdest damn thing. And then, boom! No more novels. No one's going to be looking for you. You're only world famous.
Right.
32 weeks on the #1 list.
And there's a lot to be said being lost in a crowd of cheerleaders. I don't think that's the issue here.
Yeah. I also like, having been around guns, I don't really think you can fire one off in the middle of a pep rally and everyone's just like, oh, whatever.
It's got a silencer that makes it magic.
It does, but that totally tracks in a movie. Yes.
I mean, maybe in Ohio, but we're not in Ohio.
Hey.
Actually, this movie doesn't take place in Ohio, but there are usually guns going off at pep rallies in Ohio.
My point exactly.
Not uncommon. Yeah.
We usually like to just mace.
Sorry. Smells like
I'm laughing at Black Lives. What is the charge, sir?
George Wendt, having had clearly several succulent Chinese meals. Sorry, I'm out. I'll show myself.
Get your hands off my penis.
Are you ready to receive my limp plot point, sir?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Christopher Plummer has gone full evil now. Like, I mean, it's just like the gloves are off.
To kill the president.
I'm going to kill everyone.
And the suspension of disbelief is about to go completely off the rails now.
Yes.
This whole next 10 minutes of the movie makes no goddamn sense whatsoever.
Yeah. What exactly is the bad guy's plan?
Well, no.
He's just going all over. And you're right. Like, this is when we get into the racetrack.
Well, okay. Yeah. So you got into the car with the guy. I buy that. Okay. So what's about to happen, next slide, please, is he's going to jump out of the car at risk of death and maiming.
I don't have one of those.
And within a couple of seconds, he's going to decide that he needs to get back to the institute they were driving him back to. But we have to have a ridiculous action scene involving a dirt bike, a racetrack. We have Chekhov's Irish thugs.
Yeah.
We have
there's at least one horse.
At least, and
they just wanted to do this shot. This was they just wanted to do this shot right here.
This whole action scene
in the middle of a parking lot.
It goes on and on and on just to get us out of the institute for a while. But Dennis Quaid's character has made a massive mistake here.
Yeah, well, for one thing, he picked a phone booth in the middle of a parking lot. It's so easy to smash into with the car.
At a racetrack that he's been known to frequent in the past.
It's almost entrapment getting in that phone booth. It's almost like someone has to run me over now.
Yeah.
A precursor.
And aren't you glad it happened?
Mm-hmm. Just to let you guys know, this is really important. It's really important to know this.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of phone booths. When I travel, I take a selfie in every phone booth I come across.
The irony of that statement is
so this hurt you.
Generational.
It was tough to watch.
It was tough to watch.
That was a good phone booth.
There's a cute little.
It seemed to come right out of Repo Man. I was like, why are they mocking Repo Man?
There's a cute little shot here where Dennis Quaid or his stuntman loses control of the motorcycle when he revs it up and kind of skitters around.
What is up with the architecture of that racetrack, man? What is going on with that?
That's a typical racetrack, but it's just painted crazy.
They just have a Whataburger attached to it.
This is what most of Yokohama looked like in the 90s. I can vouch for that.
Whataburger.
So then, he just magically winds up with the same handicapped thug. He's like, I'm gonna.
Old Flo's gonna be mad at me in the morning.
I'm gonna delay you some more. I saw you. I'm gonna make this chase more difficult. here I am.
They barter. They haggle for.
Yeah.
I'll give you 6 winners.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
3, 5.
Done.
Done. All right. Fuck these guys up.
Yep. And so he gets to escape on his motorbike. They fuck with the bad guys. He gets some more time. He gets some opportunities to look heroic. It is, as Gravy said, ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah,
why is this scene happening? Just like Adam was saying, why is this scene happening?
It's cutting room floor food for sure. Like, it's,
Yeah,
what
I
are we
understand
doing?
it in terms of story flow and pacing and presentation, but the motivation is not there. It makes no sense for him to jump out of that car.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe he's that dumb.
Yeah.
How would they not be able to find him no matter where he went?
I'm
We
going to be
didn't,
honest. I'm going to be
go ahead.
honest. The jumping out of the car is not what bothers me.
Mhm.
Actually, like George Wendt getting shot at the campus, like honestly, it does like in the context of what we're in here with this movie, none of that bothers me.
Mhm.
Him jumping out of the car doesn't bother me. This scene is a total waste of time.
Yeah.
This scene bothers
Silly.
me.
It's silly. Yeah.
And it's really the only scene, except for like, you know, the raunchy train scene, which is just like, oh man, come on, you know. Those are the two scenes that really, like, you know, they bother me. I mean,
This whole sequence really just wrecked my suspension of disbelief. It really
yeah,
did.
sure. Yep, I'm with you.
But at this point, we also have a movie that's 90 minutes long.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
They were in a position where we really can't afford to cut too much
Anymore. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they wasted an opportunity. Like, you know, this is what they decided to do with their opportunity. And it's not, for me, it's
Yeah, and I didn't even want to see Kate Capshaw's boobs, really. And then,
I think I think it makes the same mistake
this.
with the dream sometimes. Like what they go into a dream and you've set it up pretty good, like you're going into the dream, and then it's like, but that's what you did with it, you know, like the guy with the wife cheating on him. Come on, man.
this would be a good moment to insert that he realizes he's in a dream. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if things get this off the rails and
Yeah.
stop making sense this much, suddenly if it turns surreal and into dream world, that might have worked.
You
That
could
might
have done some Inception, yeah.
Yeah.
well, that's a little aspirational for this film, I think.
We're asking for a lot. I realize.
But, you know, moving on, you get past the scene and we get back on track. We get back on the train. We get back on the Doomsday train.
Yeah, they literally get back on the train.
On the Freud Express. Yes.
I did want to mention, I forgot to bring it up during the first of the two racetrack chases. The first racetrack chase is when you are introduced to Dennis Quaid's character, and he sees them, and he's like, you know, being, you know, like a little bit more careful, looking for the exit, stuff like that. And when he finally decides to start running, the announcer says, "And they're off." And the announcer actually continues to line up with the things happening in the chase. And I thought that was a really nice touch.
I did notice that. And it gave me Paradise by the Dashboard Light vibes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a little bit, right?
I did kind of enjoy that touch.
Yeah, it was a good moment. Anyway, let's get away from all this stuff here and get back to these guys, the bad guys. Why does he come to his room? Can't they like meet in the cafeteria or something? You know, like.
They have sandwiches.
You know, I bet he puts down his handkerchief before he sits on that bed.
I would too.
He's trying to be a little secretive.
Yeah. It's good to see you again, Tommy Ray.
But he's also trying to intimidate David Ray.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Baba Jean Ray Lee.
He's working that evil vibe.
You'll go on to kill with your dreams now. Go on now. Bobby.
We are going to kill the president.
Yeah.
This drove me nuts too.
This
Yeah,
one,
and
this
then-
drove me nuts too. I'm like, he's like,
Dennis-
ow, ow. I'm like, yeah, Dennis is a hair puller, man.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't that. It was that Kate Capshaw is in the back of the station wagon here, seeing what they've loaded up in the wagon. But Dennis Quaid has this guy caught in the car door with a gun in his face, and Kate Capshaw says, "Come here, look at this.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Busy woman, a little busy right now."
And if you just told me what it was, I would believe you. You know.
100%. I
Yeah.
will take your word for whatever's in the back of the car.
Oh dang! I've got 100 slide limit. It only loaded the first 100 slides.
Good night, everyone.
We're gonna have to here. Hold on a second.
Oh,
What do I
is
got?
this-
I
Gonna
got
have to
40.
dream the rest.
what
But
is in
I-
the back of the car? I need to know.
I cannot, not have these last
Yeah.
here. Let me get to the. There's like 40 more slides, right? So let's go ahead.
Yeah,
and-
we got to do this. Come on.
Yeah. All
We
right.
got to get to the end of days train. My dogs wouldn't stop barking. I don't know what.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. I'll just have to do something here real quick. It's fine. It's fine.
Any guesses on what's in the back of the car? Does anyone want to wager? What
Yeah.
could be
Oh,
back
I
there?
think we all
Back of the
know.
car, people.
What's in
We all know.
Chat, give us your best guess.
King Osric the Usurper.
Hello, Loswick.
It was Tommy's Ray's supply of Dickies.
Which reminds me, like Max Von Sydow and James Earl Jones. Conan the Barbarian. R.I.P. James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
then you need to tell us what's in the back.
Yeah, Black Lives, it's all on you.
What's in the back of the?
And have you
Yeah.
hit the like button yet?
She's like, you have to see this. They're making chocolate flavored Twinkies now. What the fuck?
Not Chocodiles, chocolate flavored Twinkies.
Chocolate flavored Twinkies.
disgusted.
Whoa.
Oh, this country has fallen.
You know it's wrong. Okay, let me try this.
Budweiser's making malt liquor now? What the
What
hell?
in the world? Get on the train. Let's talk about this. No, I will not blame the movie. Well, now I believe we're having a flashback there, Jethro.
And we're running. And we're running.
Oh, right.
Running up that road.
This Sunday on a very special earworms.
Just keep running. Just keep running.
42 movie trope way, Sydney.
Yes.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Black Lives. He did.
He did.
Johnny Lawrence.
Yep. That is Barbara's son is
That's my son.
actually Johnny Lawrence, and he will sweep your leg.
Oh shit. Oh man, too fast, too fast.
Sorry. Here we go. All right. There, where were we? There we were. Okay.
That's good. That's
Now
good.
we are. Okay. So he's doing this. She's like, look in the back of this.
No,
car.
she
You won't
says,
believe
"Come
it.
here." She says,
Come here.
"Come here."
Come here. You have to
Hey,
see this.
Stop doing that. Come here.
Look, I found a space cat.
Yeah, I cannot explain this to you. It's chocolate, but they're Twinkies. Nope, it's dead Max.
Oh no.
Oh my God!
Ming
Doesn't
the
make-
merciless is no more.
Yeah, the
Does
king
it
is
make
dead.
sense that he killed him? No, not really. Like, how would that help? He's still got a
No, he had to
mission.
shut him
I
up. He's
don't
got to
know.
shut up everybody. Nobody
He was
can
going to
do it.
expose the program.
Everybody shut up. Everybody.
He
So
had the
now,
files in his briefcase.
Look, the guy's going to kill the president in his
Yeah.
sleep. like he's going to have this crazy killer go into the president's dream and murder him.
Yeah.
Can we look at Pumpkinhead's comment?
Thank you.
What?
Well done.
Max Von
Thank you.
Sydow.
Thank
Well
you.
done. Well done. We're in the presence of greatness here. I just want everybody to know.
It's Punscape.
Yay.
Wow.
Pun King.
Yay.
He's been usurped.
So we're in the president's dream
Yep.
now?
Now it has to be a showdown, right?
There
He's
has
like,
to be a
no.
train. I know
There has
that.
to be a showdown.
Gotta be
There
a
has to be.
showdown.
So, where's
In
the best
the
place for a
president's
showdown but the nuclear wasteland that the president has been
Oh,
trying to prevent because of
Hiroshima
Hiroshima
Biden?
train.
Express here.
And I love this shot. I love this shot. I love it.
Yeah.
I always love this shot. And the minute it came on when we were watching it, I was like,
Yeah.
it just like, oh, I know this. Yes.
It has that feel like shit's gonna go down, and like
It's eminent.
and here he is. Dennis Quaid is on the train with him. He's probably look at that face. He's like, yeah, I may have shot my mouth off.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble. Here is a great miniature.
That's
That
nice.
train, you can't tell, but that train is moving. So that's a miniature, actual moving train, which is fun. And then, I love it when people destroy landmarks. I'm a big
And
sucker for
government
all that stuff.
offices.
Yeah.
Big
I
fan
love
of that.
stuff. Love it.
It's incredible.
Okay,
Oh.
so of course Tommy Ray shows up, and he's like, "Here I am in your nightmare to do the thing I'm going to do." And for some reason, even in his dreams, the president is protected by rando cops. He's like, "Hey,
Nothing's getting past that cop.
yeah, I don't believe we'll have any messing around in this here dream. Not on my watch."
Son, I'm a transit cop.
Not just a regular cop. And
With that-
here begins my final frustration with this film is that we start to realize the secret is that you can do anything in your dreams, so that you must have ultimate power, yet nobody thinks just to vaporize the bad guy. It
Right.
just- there's like this weird set of unspoken rules going on, like a wizard battle or something. No offense, Mick, but
No, it's
it's
true.
like it's like there are some rules that we've never really been told about in the story, where you can't just Akira the guy's freaking head off his shoulders.
Yeah.
So it has to be like a physical fight, even though you can manifest whatever objects and things that you want. And I find that frustrating.
Well, but so does Dennis Quaid, because he doesn't know the rules. And David Patrick Kelly only knows a few of the rules.
But we haven't been explained that at all for all the exposition of this film.
He throws it at. He does throw it out. He's like, well, when he's doing his nunchucks, he's like the whole time, like you've been, playing around with kids or whatever. I've been figuring out how to control things in here. So, and again, this is a few months before Nightmare on Elm Street, and it is also a few months before Temple of Doom, right? I think Temple of Doom came out.
Is that
just
84
real,
as well?
I think it came out just real recently after this.
I was mistaken. I thought it came out before.
I don't believe so, but yeah, he pulls the cop's heart out. He has this wonderful little moment where he's listening to it, and he's like, "Alex, have a heart."
Yeah.
He does a
That's
little
a great
boom,
moment,
boom,
yeah.
boom, boom there too,
Yeah.
which is cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have a good one-liner.
Have a
in
heart.
these. Yeah.
Yeah. And so here he is. He's grabbing the train controls. He's making it go fast, and he's like, "I control things in here. I can do whatever I want." Which again, wonderful point, Adam. He can do whatever he wants. Why doesn't he just vaporize the president?
Yeah.
Right now, he's like,
yeah.
"I can do
Why
whatever
doesn't-
I want," which includes a gun.
Why not just do a Donnie Darko where a plane lands on him or something?
Yeah.
Well, he's having fun. That's
He's
too
having-
easy.
yeah.
He's having fun.
He's evil. And then, like, when they crash into the mountain, they just wind up on a post-apocalyptic subway where everybody is.
And
a
this is a
victim.
this is a cool shot. This is a cool
Yeah.
scene.
There's good
Love
stuff
this
in
game.
here. Yeah, the president, all his nightmares are about, the apocalypse, the nuclear apocalypse that he will cause, and he looks great in some fucked up makeup.
Yeah.
This
That's
is
decent makeup for the time.
Yeah, this is the scene my opening line was from. He's the one who did it. He pushed the button. Like he knows what upsets the president, so he's just riding that nerve.
Well, he's
Yeah.
rallying up the zombies to get
Yeah.
the president by saying he did this to you.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's having
yeah,
fun
it's
with
great.
it.
Love
Yeah. It was him, the Warriors.
Dream Warriors come out and play.
I just like doing stuff like that.
All right.
And
T-Bird.
then the nunchucks.
Oh,
I've seen Enter the Dragon 6 times.
Oh,
He's
what
got a ninja
awesome.
outfit. He's got nunchucks with
Yeah.
with lights on them, which are super cool.
Ronnie James Dio did it first.
Is this before or after The Last Dragon? This is before, isn't it?
This is before The Last Dragon, I believe.
Yeah. I think so.
Last Dragon's later in the 80s. Yeah.
So, fun fact: Kate Capshaw had 4 films in 1984.
Wow.
What? That was a big year for her.
She
Man.
went straight from filming this to filming Temple of Doom.
No, Temple of Doom is on the list first.
Oh, really?
That was 84 as well.
That would
know,
have taken longer to film for sure.
Yeah, no
Interesting.
doubt.
Well, I'm okay admitting I was wrong. And look at those nunchucks.
Yeah, they're
Sure.
menacing. Mean chucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he's going to choke him, and he's like, wait a minute. I know what really scares Alex. It's the Snake Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the Snake Man.
Oh man, we thought this was super cool and scary because it is.
It is a great little transformation scene where like there is claymation, and
Stop motion, yeah.
Stop motion and photographic overlay.
This was not
it's
Harryhausen,
pretty
right? This
cool.
was somebody
Yeah,
else.
No, yeah.
Okay,
This is someone else.
I didn't check the credits. But... Whoa, that's
Whoa,
scary.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Snake Man's face is pretty scary.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Don't care for it.
Nope, not a fan.
Don't care for it.
Yeah, it's nasty.
It was weird letting this into our bedroom last night, I'll tell you.
Nope, rope.
Yeah, and that's them. They're like, all right, well, so we're doing this now.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, so great dream, Mr. President. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll hand it to the president. He actually holds his shit together pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Like,
does.
you know,
Very
Yeah.
stately.
He's
Well,
he's not quick to fight, but he is actually kind of holding his shit
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, he as
Look
well
at that
he should.
gaze, though. Look how intense that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
fuck with Eddie Albert, dude.
Yeah, man.
He will fight for the. He'll fight.
He's here to kick snakes and chew bubblegum, and he's all out of bubblegum.
Another fun thing I learned from the commentary is that they had prosthetics for these dogs. These dogs were going to look like creepy ass dream dogs, and then the dog actors that they hired weren't about wearing that stuff.
Nope.
Surprise.
Yeah.
So they just shaved, like holes and mats in their coat. Called it a day. They gave him a shitty shave job. And called it a day.
Poor doggies.
Yeah.
Oh.
And here's Doggy. There's some really nice effects animation
Yeah.
when a dog gets electrocuted. couldn't really get a slide that does it justice, but there's like some really just I love lightning bolt, effects animation.
Yeah, me too.
Always really delights me to see that in the movie.
It's awesome.
When it's done really well, when it's moving around a lot and just really fucking about.
Oh, Snake Man looks so good there.
Do not get away from Snake Man. Barbara, do you want to tell us anything about this slide? What do you think about this slide? Did I get a good slide?
Fuck this. I hate. Oh my god, I hate it so much. Like, I want to look away. I'm forced to look at it. I want to look away.
He's like an evil rice cracker.
This one, not so much.
Yeah.
This one, not so much.
This was There are this is in part stop motion and in part puppet. You get to see a full-on Snake Man puppet as well.
The stop motion isn't bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
No, puppet's not bad either, really.
No.
Yeah.
I think
It's
that's
sexually
the puppet
tense,
there.
but yeah.
And
What is
they've
happening here?
Well, they've got some human face still in it, I think, is what, yeah. He kind of looks like a sex toy right there, doesn't he? Like you could buy that on Etsy.
No.
That's on you.
No. No.
Dude, they totally have that at Dreamers.
Run, Pumpkinhead, run.
It's on aisle 3.
Yeah. Overnight delivery.
Dreamscapers.
We call this one the nope rope. Yeah.
The nopiest rope of all. Yeah, I'm not having that in my bedroom either. That's not.
No.
God.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
Worst
Pretty scary,
fleshlight ever.
nasty.
So
Yeah,
one of the things that I've always
cool
said
looking.
about why I don't like snakes is I've always kind of said if anything that hasn't evolved enough to have legs, I don't want to mess with.
Right.
And now he has arms and legs, and this I hate it. I hate it so much.
Which is a sort of a ridiculous premise to try and sell that.
Yeah.
It's walking around with arms and legs.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that we didn't watch.
No. No. Don't say that.
That movie.
Won't happen.
That movie. Yeah, I mean that is a horror movie.
Listen, I'm going to be gone for a whole week in November.
That's right. Thanksgiving
You guys
week.
watch that. Watch that then. Enjoy.
All right, let's. Okay, so it's hard to tell, but this is the president actually confronting the snake. I think
that's not you waving a chicken wing in front of the screen.
I know.
All right.
It looks like a photographic mistake, but and I think that's puppet there. Kind of looks
picking up, Mom?
Like yeah. But the president has picked up the steel pipe.
Finally, he's picked up a weapon. Yes.
Yeah. And that is, I believe that is stop motion, perhaps. Right there.
Yeah, I think we're looking at a green.
They go back and forth. They go back
stop
and forth.
motion. Yeah, they're pretty well edited together. Here we go.
Yeah. And now Dennis Quaid is like, oh, wait a minute. If you could turn into Snake Man to scare the shit out of me, maybe I can turn into your dead father to scare the shit out of you. And it's
Great
a pretty
call.
nice, it's a pretty nice effect. Like this is in between, where it's part Quaid and part dead father.
Yeah.
And then boom, full on dead father.
Now this could backfire, but it is kind of a smart move.
Yeah, you don't want him to like see him and be like, oh yeah, you are fun to shoot. Let me make a gun.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh boy,
you deserve to die, and now you're gonna die again. That could have gone wrong.
I actually love this. I think this is really smart writing, and it brings about my favorite effect in the entire film, which is Snake Man turning back into what Tommy Ray,
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Kind of, sort of. You know what I mean?
We get Tommy Ray starting to turn into a human, and that's actually what this shot is they do it from behind this time. The first time you see him transform into Snake Man, you get it up front, but this one they have it behind, and then he stops halfway. Yeah,
this is good makeup. I like this.
Yeah,
I like
me too.
Yeah, this looks. I mean, I hate it, but it's darn good made.
Wow, this is good prosthetics.
Yeah.
You can't imagine him saying like, Barbara,
Shut up. Shut up.
what's going on? What you doing tonight, Barbara? He's playing Peter Gabriel from a boombox over his head outside.
Dare you? I always liked you, Jeff. Now I'm just like,
you gotta be nicer to Barbara.
Yeah, you take your own medicine, man. Come on.
And
it's
then
not
the
long before we
yeah.
find out your primal fears, Jethro.
Yeah.
So just Friday, be
I'm
prepared.
an open book. I'm an open book.
oh no, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
here
ran
he
out
is
of
getting it.
So here you go. The president shows you what he's made of. He'll stab you in the back.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't get a good.
Unaware.
Yeah, I didn't get a good slide of it, but there is gore in this scene. The
And it's a
fight.
nice little jump scare, kind of quick thing, which is good. It's finally the president showing some cojones here.
This is the 13 and PG-13.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That
What
beating heart, the gore coming out of him. That's those moments of violence is where you're getting your 13. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And what I really love about this is like when he transforms into this weird, like, semi-reptilian version of himself. He's like, it makes him more vulnerable than if he had just changed completely back human. You know, he's like this in-between monster. You almost have that pang of sympathy for him. Like,
yeah, they give him a little sympathy. He's sad. He's like, it feels like uncertainty.
At the very least, he's lost his concentration. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then bang, the president.
Yeah.
Typical
he's like, this is what presidents do. We kill the vulnerable. He's vulnerable.
No reform.
Boom. Only the strong survive. And this is the look that Christopher Plummer provides after the president tells him off. We're not best friends anymore. You no longer president best friend.
Sure.
President have new best friend, Dennis Quaid. We're not best friends anymore.
Yes,
and
we have
Mr. President,
a poorly dressed Secret Service detail. Restrain evil guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do they restrain him?
They don't restrain him. They give him the brush. They give him a
from advancing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because he even tells the president, "You can't touch me."
Yeah.
So the president leaves with the detail, and then
then he's going into an elevator later on. It's kind of like a red herring. Like the movie's over, and then he gets.
I do want to point out like a little bit in between those two slides, which is the president rolls up on Dennis Quaid and
that's right. Yes,
and he says, "I'll assign you some security men, whatever, protect you." And Dennis Quaid says the dumbest thing maybe in the entire movie, which is, "No, I'm going to take care of this myself." We're talking about like a shadow agency with its tentacles all over the world. No, I got this.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
But what does he do? He goes into Christopher Plummer's dream and he pulls his face off. And that effect actually is pretty creepy looking.
Yeah,
not bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I do wonder.
It's the human teeth in the front that does it.
Yeah.
But what is it? What does it replace? Because this is not the first effect they shot for it. They went back and this is a reshoot.
Oh really?
The guy who did all the other effects had somebody else in his department do this new effect because
it was somehow cheesier than this.
Yeah, they didn't like what he did, so he had somebody who worked in his shop do something different. And there it is.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
wow.
It's pretty ugly. Yeah. So
yeah.
Who knows what happened?
Again,
there.
It's the human teeth that make
it.
That does look like someone who could harass you. Yeah. And we're going to end on dead Christopher Plummer, never to blink again, never to have blinked before this.
And also,
I didn't add any more slides after this because fuck the whole fucking train ride where she's like,
Oh, yeah.
now you and
Yeah.
I are like fuck buddies because you took advantage of me, and that
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that's a thing. That's how the
Yeah.
80s work, So I didn't want to do any slides from that. I don't want any of those slides.
That's fair. That's
even-
fair.
Even this scene where the wife wakes up
Mhm.
the dead husband, it's just
Yeah.
I feel like the whole second 2/3 of the movie, the whole third 2/3 of the movie,
Yeah.
everything is so telegraphed. It's just
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
right there, and you know it's coming next.
Mhm.
I know it's the 80s. I get it in context, but
Yeah.
I could not stop thinking about stuff like that in the script and the plot.
Well,
It made it an easy watch.
It's
Yeah.
very
Well,
easy
okay.
to watch. Yeah, very easy to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This might be a great film for a transcontinental flight.
you're not kidding. Like it's
We're
not
passing
too
time.
demanding. Yeah, it's not too
Yeah.
demanding. Well, anyway, I do want to have Gravy vote first, and also Gravy, just in case you can't make it through to the end of the program, if you want to tell us what your horror movie is going to be as well. I've asked all the panelists to come to tonight's show with a horror movie because the next 3 total recalls are all going to be in October. So
Halloween is coming. Halloween is coming.
we'll just establish
Spooky season.
we'll establish 6 horror movies that we get to choose from for the next 3 episodes, and
Sweet.
it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, and we'll just instead of doing it the way we normally do it, we'll all just come up with the one horror movie that we want to
Yeah.
go with. So,
Cool.
but anyway, so you could pick. You could tell us what it is if you need to get going. It's up.
Oh,
to
okay.
you.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, no.
But anyway,
because
but
it
you
is-
are going to vote. You do have to vote for Dreamscape.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
hear your vote.
All right. So, again, this is a perfect example, I think, of why we're here, why we do this show. I think it's this one's going to be a splitter, and rightfully so.
Mhm.
There's really some faults with this movie, for sure. It's not perfect by any means, and yeah, like the icky train scene, a couple other this and that or whatever. But I mean, for me, all in all, I really enjoyed watching this movie again. I had a great time reliving it. I hadn't seen it since the 80s, and I watched a crap ton of it when I was a kid. And I've seen some images. I've read a little bit about it over the years. I was like,
Have you
that
slept
movie.
well since you rewatched it? Or
No, not really.
okay, all right.
You like the Snake Man?
Yeah, I love Snake Man.
I'm sure.
Definitely.
I'm sure that'll be unanimous. I'm sure the panel will unanimously love Snake Man.
Yeah, especially Barbara.
Yeah,
Sure, we all do.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
I love to
It's-
doodle them.
yeah, it's a neat little movie. It's compact. It's overall efficient. It's got a little bit of slop and it's got a little bit of garbage here and there, but and you could argue that there was probably some missed opportunity in some moments and things like that. But overall, it's a really cool movie that I enjoyed when I was a kid, and I had a great time watching it again. So I give it a yes.
Cool. All right, it's a yes from Gravy.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Gravy, and thanks for choosing this. Thanks for making deviled ham sandwiches for all of us.
Ugh, disgusting.
It's Underwood.
Well, let's just move right on down the line. I think we'll have Adam go next. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, well, as you know, I don't have strong opinions about film.
Yeah,
Um,
I've never
No.
known you to.
It's a very
exhibit any.
ambivalent man. Ambivalent Adam.
I'm very easy come, easy go, and I love people most of all. Anyone who knows me knows this. Okay, so this was my first time watching the film. I had only seen trailers or a scene here and there. Somehow managed to avoid this all growing up, despite being a cable kid.
I still blame Brain Scam.
Brain Scan was like the 90s. What are you talking about?
No, there's an 83 Brain Scam.
The Natalie Wood one.
It was a turd.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, I watched Runaway more than once voluntarily. So that notwithstanding, I had not seen the movie. And Barbara and I have ridiculously lengthy discussions from our rewatches here at Total Recall. I was really on the fence, and we really had to have a talk for like half an hour about how I felt about this. And I'm going to come down to the show criteria, which is, did you enjoy this when you were younger and you saw it? And if so, then what? And I'm going to say, if you have fond memories of this movie, leave them where they are. Do not rewatch this. But I will say, if you have not seen this film and you are a fan of 80s movies, you might want to watch this. But unfortunately, my final decision is no. It's a no.
Yeah. Was there anything specific that really stuck out where you're like, this has lost it for me? I don't think you would enjoy this. You know?
I mean, the script.
Yeah.
And the plot and the dialogue.
Yeah.
It's just so heavy-handed. I mean, I was writing the movie ahead of the scenes that I was watching. Like I just knew everything that was about to happen, and there can be a wonderful joy in that. That's not automatically a bad thing. It really isn't. But I think that if you have good memories of this as a younger person, then you don't need to go back, because you will probably feel a little dirty afterwards. I think I think this one is best left in the past. I really do. Yeah. And it's not because it's horrible and beyond redemption. It just, I don't, I'm going by the criteria presented to me. Yeah. And I think you should sit on your memories and just move on to something else.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't argue with you.
That's fair.
Yeah. Usually, even if on this show, when someone votes differently than I might, I still I'm like, but you're not wrong. You know?
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of fistfights in the green room. Yeah. And I think we're all.
We've learned nothing, clearly.
Yeah. And it's all in friendship, in the interest of artistic criticism. But that's my vote. It's a slight no.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you. And let's move on over to Bride of Pumpkinhead.
So I'm really with Adam on this one. I was going back and forth up until this moment. I feel like there are a lot of enjoyable parts of this movie. There's a lot of great stuff in it.
Yeah.
And I have to say, it is sort of unfair that we've watched a number of 80s movies where stalking is not romance in a row. Yeah. And I think that I'm just at my limit.
It gets old real quick.
Yeah. So I think it is sort of timing, but also I feel like if I had seen this as a kid and that hadn't bothered me, and I loved this movie, but then I saw it as an adult, it would kind of ruin it for me. So I think speaking to that segment of folks who just feel strongly about that kind of stuff, I'm going to also give it a thumbs down.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, David Patrick Kelly is a national treasure.
I do love him. I do love him as an actor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And he has some fun in this film. He really rolls with it.
Yeah. I would have to say, whether or not you would recommend this, he is the best part. Whether you like this movie or not, he's the part you like the best. Probably.
I mean, except for Snake Man.
But he was Snake Man.
He is Snake Man.
Well, sort of.
He is Snake Man.
Sort of. Yeah.
He gave
Except-
life to Snake Man.
Yeah.
He breathed it into existence, and that's not a small achievement.
Except when Snake Man is in charge of the special effects, in which case I like it even more because I'm not real into kids, and I like when they're scared. All right. Okay. Well, Barbara, now I'm really excited. We have a yes and 2 no's. I'm really excited now.
Yeah.
Because I know she likes Snake Man. So I hope your love of Snake Man doesn't blind you from the other parts of this film.
Yeah.
She can't stop talking about Snake Man.
Okay. I did see this when I was about 16. I don't recall seeing it in the theater. I do think I saw it probably on cable or more than likely rented it because I thought Dennis Quaid was pretty dang cute back in the day. And I remember, not loving the Snake Man in the theater, but it was, I don't know, for
Loving
me, I
the
guess
Snake Man was a different movie.
A very different movie. But I think I just kind of tolerated it, or I got up and I left the room whenever he was on or something like that, because I really do have a painful aversion to snakes. I just don't care for them. And so, but when they said we were going to watch it again, I was kind of excited just because I'm like, I do kind of remember liking this movie. Despite Snake Man, I do remember kind of liking this movie. And on the rewatch, I was like, oh God, wow, that's problematic. Don't like that. Nope. Yeah. So it is kind of it's a thumbs down for me as well. I think that, the sentiments of, if you really enjoyed this as a child, keep those happy memories to yourself and keep them warm in your heart, because it's a difficult rewatch. In hindsight, it's a very difficult rewatch. The creepy stalking and the grapey train scene. Yeah, it's not for me. And I will say this, I will still praise Dennis Quaid's performance. He's quirky and fun. I'm okay with Kate Capshaw's performance. She's not screaming. She reacts sort of logically throughout.
She's okay on this.
Yeah, she really is. And David Patrick Kelly is fucking great, man. He sells it as a villain. He's such a good actor in everything he does. I really do like the creepiness factor of it. In fact, when I do kind of recall watching this as a teenager and thinking, ooh, he's got a little Norman Bates-ish quality to him.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that. But it's still, despite that cute little cheek there, it's still going to be a no for me.
Okay, all right. I thought maybe if I got that slide back out,
Turn
things around for you.
I will point out, and I pointed it out when we rewatched it, that there's plenty of nice little shots for the ladies here. It's not a one-way street with the waitress in the bar.
It's equal opportunity.
Yes. Yeah, we get beefcake.
Noted and appreciated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you say cheequal opportunity?
Yes.
Oh.
Ding.
Amazing.
Well, I'm about to have remorse for us only having 6 panelists. I think we may have a tie on our hands because
shit.
I am going to say yes.
I could tell Laszlo he has to get on.
Yeah, we need Laszlo. But,
I'll have him take over for me because I'll have to go to bed.
And I feel this way in large part because of David Patrick Kelly, and also because of Dennis Quaid. Kate Capshaw, as we mentioned, is actually like fairly subdued, and she's really not that bad in this. You know,
She's very
so
capable in this.
yeah,
She plays her
she's
part.
She's so often over the top, but it's you know, like it's not quite there. Kind of surprised that, like, you know, Max von Sydow isn't more of a draw for me, because I do love his work so much. But
Damn it, Barbara.
He was really
Sorry.
wow. 941.
Is it any wonder we're married?
Double Snake
Wow.
Man.
That's
What
really
does it
good.
mean? What does it mean? What does it mean?
This means something.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Now, what are we going to vote
1041
on?
and 1041. We can't even go
Yeah.
down to the seconds. Was it that
Yeah.
simultaneous?
It was right on top of each other.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Awesome.
I think, like, effects wise, you know,
hey, Laszlo's here. He can
Cast
Okay,
a vote. Cast
just
a
in
vote.
case.
Cast
Just
a
in
vote.
case. We might,
Does
we
he
might need
understand? Does he understand the regulation tournament rules?
Well, you can explain it to him. Here, I'll put
Yeah,
my headphones
but
on. Here you go.
yeah, what
Hello.
hey, Laszlo, how
Hey.
you doing?
Hey.
I'm doing all right. I'm about to go do some dreamscaping.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
we picked a slide to help us decide what
So this would be a
We-
perfunctory vote, assuming that we
Yes.
know what the Wizards' vote would
Yeah,
be.
well,
we want to hold
We're
this.
gonna wait. We're gonna wait on that.
yeah,
We're
we're gonna wait. We're
We
gonna
want
wait.
to
But
hold
yes,
this in the kitty here.
but yeah, I was just saying that I completely understand the issues with like the totally, you know, messed up stuff that is in this movie that could not sit well.
Yeah.
What I really remembered liking about this movie was the special effects, and they do really hold up. I love the dream sequences, and you know, I think that's a thing to revisit. They're good performances. You know, Max von Sydow is kind of boring in the movie, unfortunately. I think he just isn't used very well. But and normally I like him a lot, and he does, you know, he usually chooses the scenery pretty well. But anyway, I'm still going to give it a thumbs up. I think you should revisit it if you remember it from your past and you really liked it. And if you haven't seen it, again, I think you should watch it with the Adams caveat that you're into 80s movies. If you're not into 80s movies, you shouldn't watch this.
No, you probably won't without my advice, you know.
Yeah.
But unless you're into this, don't go there.
I do want to point out that this came out the same year as Nightmare on Elm Street, and a few months beforehand, and they share a lot of like similar plot points. This movie cost $5.5 million to make, and it grossed about $12 million,
Which is not bad.
Which is not bad. Nightmare on Elm Street cost $1.1 million to make, which is just like, that is really something in 1984.
Pennies. Yeah.
You know? And it grossed $57 million. So, yeah, Dreamscape did make its money back and then some, but it didn't make Nightmare on Elm Street money. You know? But anyway, yeah, I give it a thumbs up. And how are you feeling then, Wizard? How are you feeling?
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I mean,
Yeah.
again, it's got some problematic stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
if what's in this is going to bother you, you don't want to revisit a lot of things from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So you should know that going in, I think. But other than that, as somebody who was fascinated when I was younger with the there's going to be some cringe.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, it's fun. Snake Man is awesome. David Patrick Kelly, pretty much anything he's in. I'm going to be down for. And Norm.
Yeah.
I mean, George Wendt makes any movie.
Norm's not bad in it. It's true.
I'm always happy to see him.
Yeah.
But no, it is a split decision.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun.
Coming to Laszlo.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
So-
my turn.
Yeah. So Laszlo, generally how we're voting is you imagine that somebody really loved Dreamscape when they were a kid. You know, maybe they watched it over and over again.
If
And
you
they're
can
trying-
imagine such a thing.
Yeah. And they're trying to decide, like, I have fond memories of that. Should I leave those fond memories alone and you know, just have them be the way they are? Or should I revisit it because it's not so bad. It's actually a pretty fun, cool movie, you know, for one reason or the other.
All right. Well, it's my first time watching this movie, but I actually really did enjoy like the visual effects and stuff. I thought that was like pretty fun. I think each dream was like pretty cool, like visually and like kind of like sound effect wise and stuff. And you know, I definitely did have dreams about the Snake Man.
You
Linked it
had
with
dreams
me.
about the Snake Man?
Yes, I did.
Wow. All right.
It scared me.
Yeah.
But you know, I think this movie is great. It did have weird stuff, but like, you know, it's an 80s movie, so you know, what do you expect?
So we give a pass on some of this terrible sexual politics
like-
because it's an 80s
like
movie.
what
You're like,
like what the
it was
wizard
a different
said was,
time.
like,
Is that what you know?
yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
I definitely don't think like it's appropriate, but I think the all the weird wacky stuff about it is like, you know, redeeming enough to like revisit and watch this movie. So I think I give it a thumbs up.
All right. Well, thank you for breaking our tie. That is most appreciated. And it was really fun watching it with you. When for folks listening, Laszlo also joined us in the watch party. So that was fun. Yeah. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on that. Thanks for
Thanks,
breaking
Laszlo.
our tie. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
It's great having you aboard. And you're definitely welcome anytime. Let me make clear.
Oh, thank you.
You know, we're all old fogies, so we have
It's mostly
we have
mostly.
no idea. We have no idea how you feel about things.
I
You
think
young folks.
I
you
think
know.
the kids sort of enjoy it when we verbally get down with them.
Sure. That's what my son always tells me.
Let's wrap.
Let's wrap. Well, that
Thank
was
you,
great,
Laszlo.
though. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you.
course. Thank you.
Thank you. And
Thanks for
getting
letting
us,
me watch.
Yeah. Like I said, anytime. All right. Well, we've got a broken tie there.
All right.
7 viewers, 4-3. Classic Total Recall right there. Loved it. I loved our conversation about it. You know, like I think everybody at least came away with something they liked and came away with something they definitely didn't like.
Yeah, I don't want to give the wrong impression. Like I enjoyed the rewatch. I really did.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to be in love with a movie to enjoy watching a movie at all.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm going by the official Olympics Committee sanctioned rules here,
I appreciate that very much.
and
And
trying to
we
keep things
appreciate
above
that.
board. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, don't let me tell you what to watch. But as far as Total Recall goes, yeah,
Well, no, that's
Yeah.
that's the idea of the
Yeah,
show.
that's the idea. Yeah.
absolutely. And I love the format. So
Yeah. And
We are
trying to
telling
save
you-
lives here.
yeah, I love it, and I love everyone on this panel so much. We have such a great time talking about this stuff, and I think as far as just you know, like pace and quality of banter, we got it. You know, like I love doing this. So anyway, Gravy, you still with us, Gravy? Gravy, you want to talk about some horror movies, Gravy?
We may have lost Gravy. He's muted.
Hmm.
Gravy, you're muted if you. All right. Adam, did you pick out a horror movie?
Barely. You know, I like to.
One more. I'm sorry, but before we leave Dreamscape, just one more thing I wanted to point out.
Can we change the slide?
Yes, we can change this.
Yeah, all right.
Oh.
Well, thank you.
Much better. Thank you.
Here we go. How about just a romp? We actually sat on this one for a while too.
We can go back to him in the Speedos. I don't mind.
We had to talk about it for a while. Yeah. There we go. I can't remember which file. Yeah, let's just. There we go. Anyway,
Norm.
So,
oh my God, there's a tin of Charles chips on the bar counter. I'm sorry, I just had a flashback.
Okay. Perhaps you noticed a familiar name as executive producer and co-writer of this film in Chuck Russell. If you saw the name Chuck Russell and thought you might have recognized this, because, well, soon after this, he also co-wrote and directed himself the best Nightmare on Elm Street sequel, Part 3. The Dream
Part 3
Warriors.
is good.
Yeah.
The Dream Warriors.
Yeah. Part 3 is, it certainly is for me. I'm a fan of the whole franchise, all the films.
We're the Dream Warriors.
But yes, the Dream Warriors.
I think we could all agree. Yeah, the Part 2 is not the best.
Part 2 is not
sequel.
as good.
No. Part 3 is great.
Yeah, but I love Part 3, and then he wrote with Frank Darabont. What I feel is he again co-wrote and directed what I think is maybe the best modern horror film remake in The Blob.
Yes,
so
you're not wrong.
Yeah, he's a really he had produced a lot and written a lot leading up to Dreamscape. He started directing after Dreamscape. And,
I would put the
Let's
Blob.
Also remember he made the Scorpion King.
I was about to say, and there's no reason to look at the rest of his film career. You want to look him up on IMDb, and you got this movie, and you got
my friend
this movie,
Jethro told me
you
not
can
to.
move on.
Yeah,
move on.
I listen to my friends. I will say the Blob is one of my favorite remakes ever.
Yeah, it's so
I
good.
saw it in the theater, and the crowd was roaring. And I also got one of my best out loud riffs in that theater when the guy and the girl are making out in the car, and he sticks his hand in her shirt, and the Blob jumps out, and I said at the top of my lungs, "Nice booby trap," and the whole theater roared.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful.
It is had my little moment there.
I know the scene you speak of. She's already the Blob. He just doesn't know it.
Yes.
So it's waiting in her bra.
Yeah, but great audience reaction.
Yeah.
Great fun watch. Good movie. Yeah. Nice innovations.
So Chuck Russell, we salute you. We salute you. We forgive you for the mask and some other things. And salute you. All right. So
I have Gravy's horror movie.
Oh, you do? Okay. What is Gravy's horror movie?
Something Wicked This Way Comes.
I knew he was going to pick that one.
I
knew he was going to pick that one.
Okay.
And that is a good choice, for sure. Okay. Adam, you want to go ahead and go next with your horror movie?
Well, as you know, I did stand up for that choice on the previous episode. Mm-hmm. But when I am asked what horror movie I want to watch, for the Halloween spirit here on Total Recall, I searched my database very carefully. I was a fan of pretty much any horror I could get my hands on when I was in junior high or high school, but I grew out of it pretty quick, and I really don't care for slasher movies anymore. Mm-hmm. So that eliminated a lot. What I do want to go back and watch very badly that I haven't seen in at least a decade is The Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, you haven't watched that?
Nope.
In a while, huh?
Nope. And I know it's inherently a comedy, but it's one of my favorite horror-ish films of all time.
I will always argue that it is a horror movie. Horrible things happen to people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there's horrific things in that film.
But it's a horror movie. That's funny.
And
horror comedy.
I won't talk too much about it, but I can tell you that there's not going to be any arm twisting in watching that movie. All right.
I don't know how long it's been since everyone else has watched it, but it's been too long for me, and that's my nomination.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah.
I don't need a reason to watch it again.
All right. Well, Pumpkinhead, did you have anything picked out? Perhaps
I did. I already know how I feel about my husband, Pumpkinhead. So good. God, what a great movie. There was a movie I saw the year it came out, 1997, that brought to life my worst nightmare. So this is sort of a Barbara sympathetic nomination. And that movie was Mimic, where the monster is fucking space age cockroaches that start evolving to look like humans and murder them. Which,
pretty good choice.
Yeah, but I saw it the one time and knew I would be traumatized and was. So I don't know if it's like actually scary or if it's my own phobia that made that experience so frightening. And I want to find out.
We could find out.
Yeah.
Black Lives, they're the worst. I hate them too. I hate them so much.
It's pretty universal. A lot of folks just really get creeped out by
They're awful.
They're
awful.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. That's my nomination.
Awesome. I think that's a good one too. Yeah, Mimic. I don't think I've ever seen it. So
early Guillermo del Toro.
Really?
Yeah, it is Del Toro.
Oh, I knew there was a reason I was drawn to it against my better judgment.
And guys, he's doing Frankenstein next.
Yeah.
Get excited now.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about Fantastic Fest, but I'm so film excited, like my brain's almost, I can only take so much.
But we need more votes.
But yes. Okay. All right. Barbara, let's talk about
Okay. I thought a lot about it. I thought back to one that I remember watching when I was a child on some Saturday afternoon TV program, right? Yeah. And it was so obscure, I couldn't even remember what it was called, and I had to Google it based on the description of the story, because it stars Vincent Price. And then I told Adam about it. He's like, I don't know if that's the one you want.
Was it Mooch?
No, it was not Mooch.
Oh.
It was a
Mooch is my new favorite horror movie.
Yeah.
It was called Twice Told Tales, and it was a
Twice Told Tales.
It was a
yes, I do remember
trilogy
that.
of
It's an anthology.
It's an anthology of stories.
Yep.
And then I also thought about The Bad Seed, because I watched.
Oh yeah.
I did watch the original when I was in high school, because I was in the play in high school.
Wow.
I didn't even know there was an original. I only knew.
Yeah, it was like a 1950s black and white one.
Yeah, I have not seen it.
But then I remembered Adam and I watched this movie, I think it was either last year or maybe the year before. And I wanted to do it on our show, but it's copyrighted.
Oh no!
Oh, too bad.
And so we can't do a full show of it. But it's a little movie that came out in 1977, starring Peter Cushing.
Wow!
Is it Star Wars? Is it Star Wars?
77?
No, it is not. It is called Shockwaves.
Shockwaves is
Shockwave.
It's so off the charts weird. I love it so much.
Has anyone else on the panel seen Shockwaves yet?
Is Shockwaves the Nazi zombies?
Yes,
Yes.
the underwater Nazi
Yes.
zombies.
I have seen this movie exactly once in my life, and it was a
It is
long
so
ass
good.
time
It is
ago.
so, it is so batshit, and I
Yeah.
loved it so much, and I'd like to share it with all of you.
Oh.
I'd like to buy the world a zombie.
Excellent. That's
It's
great.
a good movie. Not
Yeah.
a well-known movie at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah. It does get around. Like, people recognize the like, I think the video box was easily recognizable if you saw the poster. Oh, and by the way, the poster for Dreamscape is totally Chef's Kiss. They used to paint movie posters.
Yes.
If your chef is Boyardi, yeah. Sorry, Jeff.
That's all right. It's not for everyone.
No,
I love
agree.
it.
I agree. I think the poster for Dreamscape
I
is
love it.
awesome.
Anyway, the horror movie I'm going to pick is actually one that I've seen once in my life and remember to enjoy. And I very specifically remember going to see it in the theater because it was some awkward moment in my, when I was 13 or 14 or something, where the youth group in this church that I was going to was like, oh, let's all go see this horror movie, and we'll go at this place at this time. And I was the only one to show up, and I think I still didn't really fully understand how social commitments worked. So I was like, we had a conversation about it, but there was really no follow-up. I saw this movie by myself in the theater.
Oh.
It's from the writer of Near Dark, who also co-wrote and directed The Hitcher. His name's Eric Red, and he wrote and directed Jeff Fahey in Body Parts. And I saw that when I was a kid, and I thought it was a good movie, and I have never seen it since. And no one really talks about it either, even though Eric Red kind of has popularity among horror fans. No one really talks about Body Parts either.
Quick aside, am I the only one that finds Jeff Fahey's face disturbing?
No. It's unsettling. His eyes are
Thank you.
His eyes are weird.
All right, thank you.
He's freaky.
Yeah, I have a hard time watching him.
I do too. Although I will say I thoroughly enjoyed his performance on Lost. I thought Lost was so great.
I liked him on Lost.
Yeah.
His look is totally perfect for something like Lawnmower Man.
Mm-hmm.
But in what is it, Planet Terror, or the other one that he's in, he's just so distracting and weird.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why
I really like Planet Terror, but yeah.
That's why I liked him in Lost, was because he didn't really look like Jeff Fahey in Lost.
He's one of those actors that I really enjoy seeing pop up, especially now. I feel like his later in life roles have been really cool.
Jeff Fahey is sort of my Snake Man as far as Barbara feels about Snake Man. I don't want him in my dreams.
You're not going to be voting for Body Parts. Okay. Wizard, what do you got?
So I'm going to go weird, sort of, kind of. It's a 1972 horror movie.
1972?
Yeah. It's a sequel.
A sequel?
It is. And it's probably, as near as I know, the only horror movie with a theme song by Michael Jackson.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yes. I want to watch Ben.
Know what we've been looking for.
Yep.
And I haven't seen Ben since probably 1972.
Ben, I hear you calling.
It might have been a few years later, but it has been a long time. And I've seen Willard again.
Uh-huh.
The
My,
original.
And it's the sequel
The
to
original Willard. How is the like? I know I feel like I've seen these movies, but I can't really come up with anything mentally about like
Willard is awesome.
yeah.
But Dan, I don't know. That's why I want to revisit it.
I have
Excellent.
good memories of the original Willard, but I don't remember
Yeah.
Ben.
I have
Now
a
the
cousin-
remake of Willard is actually pretty good too.
Yeah, I did not mind the remake of Willard.
I do mind Crispin Glover.
Oh, I love
don't-
Crispin Glover.
You don't like
Mm.
Crispin Glover?
I understand why people like him, and I
Mhm.
liked him at the time, but nowadays, no.
I like Crispin Glover in very small doses.
Yes.
I
Little
like
goes a
Crispin
long
Glover in theory.
way. On paper, he's great, and I mean that. But
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah. So I guess we'll just go ahead and assume that Gravy's vote is for his own movie.
well,
but
how do we do this then? We have
Yeah.
brackets. Do we have eliminations? How do we do this?
No, I think we just pick one of them.
Well,
Like,
we have to pick 3.
we'll pick one now. And then we'll have
Oh, and
five.
then we'll do.
Yeah, and then we'll just have
Okay,
5
okay,
movies
yeah,
to
yeah.
pick from next.
Has anyone written this down so far?
I did not write it down.
Oh,
I
hang
am
on.
working on it.
It's something
Okay.
wicked this way comes. Oh fuck! I did
Mine was
forget
Return of the Living Dead.
Return of the Living Dead. Mimic.
Mimic.
Shockwaves.
Shockwaves. Good call, Barbara. Good call.
Body Parts and Bad. So yeah, there we have 6. And also, anyone who is still watching along with us, if you want to vote,
That's
please
you,
give
Black
us
Lives.
please give Black Lives. Please tell us what you would like to see.
What out of that list?
But yeah, out of that list. So I'm not really compelled to vote for my own. I'm happy to tell you that there are several that really speak to me, including Something Wicked This Way Comes. I have not
honestly,
seen
that's kind of my pick because I wanted it last week.
yeah, I have not seen that since I was a kid. I remember not only did I really like several moments in it that aren't scary, but the scary stuff is
I remember
it is-
the
it's
atmosphere
super
being very
creepy.
good.
It's super creepy. Yeah.
Something Wicked Ben Return of the Living Dead Mimic Shockwave Body Parts. Okay, something.
We got a hit.
Something wicked been returned.
Of the living dead mimic.
Shockwaves, body parts. Get out of here,
So-
Yoko.
Yeah, I think I could probably go with Something Wicked for my.
I could
first
go with
vote.
Something Wicked. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
We had a really close vote last time. I'll
Yeah, we did.
vote for that.
All right. Well, he'll be so pleased to learn that his vote really.
And then
Wait,
he'll
do we
leave
really want to
early.
give him 2
Yeah,
in a row?
leave early. Maybe next episode, the first thing we'll do is vote for the next horror movie, the 5 remains. So,
I trust the wizard.
yeah.
I don't think he's deceiving us here.
No.
Okay.
No,
I
so-
found it. I did.
Honestly, I was going to say Something Wicked.
I've got the
if no
chat.
one- yeah. Yeah. If no one had taken it, I might have voted for that. Although I do really not just having a funny story for Body Parts. I have wondered for a long time. I've kind of expected it to show up at Terror Tuesday, which is a weekly screening of often obscure horror movies, but they've never shown Body Parts. It's just not one that's revisited, which makes me nervous that it's terrible. You only see a movie once and you're 14 or 15. When did it come out? I think it's 1990.
Well, I know most of my anecdotes generally result in an uncomfortable silence here on the show. But I did want to just throw out tonight that I did meet David Patrick Kelly, and oddly enough, I met him in the lobby of a New York University building where I was having a meetup to go work on a graduate film that was never released. It's called Contents Under Pressure, but I was actually doing a little bit of acting back in the day.
Whoa!
And he was there in the lobby, and we could not help but to approach him and shake hands. So
wow,
that's awesome.
That's cool.
That would have been about 1987 or 88.
I too have a student horror film connection.
Oh,
when I was I could have been maybe 4 or 5. My sister was in a student horror movie from Sacramento State, and they needed a little girl to climb up a creepy staircase, open a door, scream, and then run back down the staircase. And I was that little girl.
It was my wife, Babs.
awesome.
I have no idea what it was called.
Awesome.
It definitely was never released. But
Oh, too bad.
yeah.
Do you remember doing it?
I do.
Cool.
Because my sister was dressed up as a spooky, scary witch behind the door, and she wanted to do it, so she knew it. I knew it was her, and wouldn't actually be scared.
Wow.
Yeah, it was Cindy, my sister.
Wow.
Cindy. Yeah. So yeah, I do remember doing it. There you go.
And
Cool.
now you know the silence that I'm used to.
I am.
That's pretty great.
So Jeff, there's another vote for body parts.
That's you.
Yeah, but Brad Dourif's in it.
Oh, is Brad Dourif in it?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I thought it was Jeff Fahey.
No, Jeff Fahey is in it.
Oh, okay. But Brad Dourif is also in it?
But Brad Dourif's also in it.
Oh, wow. See, I got to see this. Well, I'm going to see it someday. Even if I don't see it this month, I'm going to see it someday. But yeah, I'm excited about revisiting. The guy from Brazil is the guy who runs the carnival, right? Same actor. The lead actor from Brazil.
That I don't know.
Oh God, I can't remember. It's been so long.
Pretty sure it's the same. He's the carnival guy who runs the carnival. I've read this book too. It's been a while.
I have too.
But I love Bradbury's writing. It just has this like really old timiness to it. You know, he just has, he's so great. He's great.
I have an autographed copy of The Halloween Tree by Ray Bradbury.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Dandelion Wine, just the way that he writes, it's so flowery. And, I don't know. It has a real timelessness to it. You know, it's great. Hooray, Ray Bradbury!
Hooray for Ray.
Hooray for them.
Hats off to Larry.
All right. Well, does anyone have any parting thoughts about these two guys trying to think about what their 80s synth band is going to be named?
Ray is a good first name, but not a good second name.
Ray. Well, Ray is a good second name if Ray is your first name.
Good night, Black Lives.
Good night. Good night.
See you soon.
All right. Good night. So I think we'll
Star Wars so well, but yeah.
I think we'll
Good
just say
night,
goodnight to
bestie.
everyone. We will look forward to seeing you all. I think it's the 1st, right? Wednesday the 1st is 2nd. Wednesday the 2nd, we will see you for our first of 3 horror films.
Woohoo!
Something Wicked This Way Comes. So thanks for hanging out with us. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.